Today, we're going to review this electrolyte drink mix from LMNT. We're going to go through 5 categories. Is it keto, the quality of the ingredients, the availability, the cost, and the taste. And before we get started, I want to frame our discussion properly. I don't want you to think of this video as an unbiased review, because it's definitely not unbiased. I'm very biased. I'm a very big fan of LMNT, and we'll talk about why. I have some personal reasons as to why, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And also I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by LMNT, which is really cool because we're going to talk all about this product, and then you can get a special offer. LMNT is giving all of my viewers a special offer. If you go to drinklmnt.com/keto-with-JT, you can get a sample pack, a free sample pack with any purchase. In that sample pack, you'll have 8 individually wrapped packets, which is like one of each of their flavors. So you go to the website, pick the one that you think you're going to like the best. I chose watermelon. I did the same thing. I went there, picked watermelon, thought that'd be my favorite flavor. And then I got the sample pack, and I was able to try all of them and decide which one do I like the best. And we'll talk about that when we get to taste. So don't think of it as an unbiased review. Think of it as Keto Coach, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. And I'm going to talk to you about why you may want to consider including LMNT in your ketogenic lifestyle. Or if you're just really trying to be healthy and you're trying to stay hydrated and you want to keep sugar as low as possible. Okay, so we'll talk about that. First, let's ask the question, is it keto? The answer is hands down absolutely yes. There's no sugar, no carbs. There's nothing in this that's going to kick you out of ketosis. And this gives me a chance to talk about how the company was founded to begin with. I really like that story. One of the founders, Rob Wolf, is a competitive martial artist in jiu-jitsu. And he was following a keto diet, or living a ketogenic lifestyle, doing his jiu-jitsu, and he was getting tired. He was getting fatigued and just really not, having the energy that he wanted to have or thought he should have. And his coaches were telling him, hey, you need more electrolytes. You need to increase your electrolytes, specifically salt. They would say, you need more salt, dude. And he kind of brushed them off a little bit and kind of actually put them off for about a year, he says, until finally he decided to listen. Finally, he decided to make those changes, and that made all the difference for him. Thus, this company was born. So what I really like about this company is it's a keto product made by keto people, just like me and you. And I think that's awesome. So yes, it's keto. That brings us to ingredients. So LMNT is an electrolyte drink mix that has all the electrolytes that you want, none of the stuff you don't need. So what does that mean? 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium. And what's cool is those ratios are backed by science. They didn't just come up with it out of the blue. It's all backed by science, and they have articles about that on their website, which you can go check out. The other thing about the ingredients is there's no, as we mentioned, no carbs, no sugar, artificial coloring, no gluten, basically no junk. This is super, super clean, super healthy electrolyte drink mix that is a great option if you're keto or if you're just trying to live healthy and keep sugar down as low as possible. It's very difficult to find an electrolyte drink mix that has electrolytes that are high enough without the sugar. Most of them are chock full of sugar and have electrolytes that are kind of very low. And a lot of the sports drinks, popular sports drinks, kind of unfortunately fall into that category. So if you're looking for one that has no sugar, has a lot of electrolytes, this is a very, very good option. So from an ingredients perspective, I can give it the highest rank possible. In my opinion, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. I've tried a lot of different ones. This is the one that I like the best. If you're looking for a very healthy option, it's hard for me to think of one that would be any better than this. So let's talk about availability. If you want this, you can get it. You can get on their website. And in fact, that's probably the best place to get it. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it at Walmart, you can get it at some other online options. There's a place called The Feed. You can get it at Thrive Market, and there's a few other different options. Now, I haven't seen it at Sprouts. I haven't seen it at some of the specialized grocery stores out there. I would like to see it be more available from that perspective. But from availability, I can give it a pretty high score, like a 3.5 out of 5. What would bring that score up a little bit higher? If it was more available, like if you could just get it at the grocery store right across the street. But that said, if you want it, you can get it, and it's pretty convenient. So let's talk about cost. A box like this will run you about $45. There are 30 individual packets in one of these boxes. They look like this, right? You just tear this off and pour it in whatever you're going to drink it in. So that brings the cost per packet to about $1.50 each, which I think is actually pretty reasonable. If you want to save even more money, you can do their subscription and get this for $39. If you know you're going to drink it on a regular basis, that'd probably be the way to go. Is the cost justifiable? That's the question. And I think it absolutely is, based on my experience in trying a lot of different electrolyte drink mixes, and based on when we take into consideration all the things we talked about earlier about science-backed, the proper ratios, no sugar, no carbs, super clean, and a lot of electrolytes. There's a lot of electrolytes in one of these packets. If you compare it to some of the other options, some of these other options, they cost more and have less electrolytes, and they're packed with sugar. So when I look at that, then I think the cost becomes much more justifiable. Would I like to see it be a little bit cheaper? Of course I would. I want everything to be cheaper, but that's just, but we also have to be realistic. Before we go into taste, I want to share with you what we talked about earlier, my personal reason for being such a big fan of LMNT. I got into keto because I wanted to do the Grand Canyon rim to rim to rim. I wanted to run across the Grand Canyon and back again and do that in 16 hours. And that's not an easy thing. It's 44.5 miles. It's 11,000 feet of elevation gain. It's 22,000 feet of elevation change. And it's uphill both ways. I trained for several months, went there, and I failed. I couldn't do it. I ran into trouble. In fact, I was stopped by the rangers and kept overnight for observation. I just was not feeling well, just feeling really nauseous. And all of a sudden I started puking. Suddenly there's a crowd of people around me. And next thing you know, I'm at the ranger station. And Dan and Ed are taking care of me. They're saying that I just have a significant deficit in calories and that my body's starting to shut down. So I still can't believe this day has ended this way. It was a very difficult experience. After all of that, a very experienced ultramarathon runner and someone who had a lot of experience in the canyon, way more than I had, in doing what I wanted to do and doing it better, reached out to me. He offered me some tips, some suggestions, and one of the things he said is, Jared, you ought to consider low-carb keto approach to this. And at the time I was like, keto, I wasn't sure what to think about keto. I really thought it was one of the dumbest things I'd ever heard. But now I've got this very experienced person telling me, hey, you should consider this. So I thought about it, I finally did it, and it was the right move. It absolutely was the right decision, but I still kept having problems. It did help quite a lot. I lost a lot of weight, and I was able to, after I got through that adaptation phase, it improved my endurance. But I just kept hitting the wall when I went to the Grand Canyon. It took me 4 years to figure out that what I needed was to increase my electrolytes. When I finally did that, I was able to do it. I was able to reach my goal, and in fact, it was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be, and LMNT was a big part of that. So that's, it's very personal to me. I'm very much a big fan, and I'm very excited to share that with you. I'm very excited that you can go to drinklmnt.com/keto-with-JT and get that special offer. That's what I did. I went and picked the one that I thought I would like the best, and I got this sample pack, and I tried all the different flavors, and I was right. I like the watermelon flavor, but I like a lot of them. And that brings us to taste. I love watermelon, that's my favorite, but it's closely followed by their chocolate salt. That one is awesome. And lately I've also been drinking this citrus salt one. That one is really, really good as well. That's my number 3. And over here you can see how I rank all the different flavors, and that's gonna be different, I found, for each person. Like one of my friends, her favorite is the citrus salt. Another friend, his favorite is the spicier ones, and he puts the chocolate one lower on his list, but the spicy one's higher on his list. So you just need to figure out which one you like the best. So, and the great thing is you can get that free sample pack. Go to drinklmnt.com/keto-with-JT and you'll be able to do that. Now, I'm not going to taste this for the first time like I've done in other videos. Like I mentioned, I've tasted them all, but I am going to show you how easy they are to mix and how convenient it can be. Okay, so I got this cold glass of cold water. I got this cool blue straw. We're gonna get one of these out. Just grab one of these packets like this. I usually like to shake it and get it all to the bottom. And then you tear it across the top like that. And then I like to open it up a little bit. And then we're just gonna pour it in just like that, right? Super easy, really quick. It's great on the trail. And then I'll just mix it up. It mixes really fast, mixes really easy. And then, oh yeah, there we go. Ooh. And then we're gonna give it a try. Oh yeah. That is awesome. That is really, really good. Now, one thing you need to understand, it's very salty. It's very salty, so don't expect this to be super sugary like all those other drinks. But, oh man, it just tastes good. I like that sweet and salty combination. I really, really do. Once again, if you want to try this yourself, you got that special offer. Go to drinkelement.com/keto-with-JT. Try it for yourself. Get your free sample pack, try all the different flavors, and let me know in the comments what you think. And if you've already tried Element, put that in the comments as well. I like to hear your comment. Tell me your favorite flavor.